Hello guys, welcome to HDev. In this video, we are going to be creating a to-do list and we are going to use React.js to create a to-do list. So this is a to-do list that we are going to create, and we will be able to add tasks to our to-do list. Let me add, as you can see, I typed in tax 4, and you can also edit a tax. Let me change this one to tax 5. We have tax 4 here. Let me change it to tax 5, then edit. You can see it's now tax 5. Then I can also, maybe when I want to edit and I change my mind, I can cancel it. Then anytime you are done with the task, you can change the status. You can also delete a task by clicking on the delete icon. So let's get started. So to create our application, we will create a new folder. Then inside the folder, at the top, you type in CMD. Then click on enter. It will open your command prompt. We will type in npx create React app. Then the application name, we are going to name this one to do. Then hit on enter for the project to be created. Make sure you have Node.js installed in your computer before this will work. So if you don't know how to install Node.js, let me know in the comment section. I will tell you how to do that. Then the application has been created successfully. So to navigate to the application folder, we will type in cd the application name. We are now in the application folder. Now we are going to type in code, then full stop to open our Visual Studio Code. As you can see, we have opened our Visual Studio Code. So let's head to, I need to install a package. Let's head to our browser, type in Material UI. Click on the first link. Then inside, we'll copy this installation command. Let's copy it. Let's head back to our Visual Studio Code and paste it in our terminal inside our application. And paste it, then wait for it to install. We will need to use icons for this project, so let's install material icons from Material UI. So let's head back to the website and copy the command code for installing material icons. So let's head back. Let's navigate to the code for the installation of material icons. So here is the code. Let's copy it and head back to our Visual Studio Code. Paste the code, then hit on your enter button. So while we are waiting for the material icons to install, let's head to our files section and delete some files that we will not need for this project. So let's mark them and delete them. So after we have deleted them, let me head to my index.js and remove the codes for the files that we just deleted. So let's clean them and also head to our app.js and clean the existing codes there. We need a clean slate for us to start this project, so we don't need the existing codes. So let's delete them and start our project. We are done with the installation of the files we are going to need for this tutorial. So let's start by creating the structure for the tutorial. So let me create a div here, then give it a class name of project name. And let me name the project age devs to do list. Then let's step out of this. Then let me create another div, then give it a class name of input wrapper. It will wrap our add and edit input. So inside the input wrapper, I'm going to have two divs inside the input wrapper. Then this one, I'll give it the class name input container. And inside this, we'll have an input here of type text. Then let me add a placeholder. And I'll say add task. Then I need a button, and let's call the button as add. This will be for the add tags. Then I'll create another div here inside the input wrapper, another div. Then I'll still give it the class name of input container, because it will do the same thing as the first input container. I'm just creating it for styling. So I'll add another input here, then the same type text, then placeholder. The placeholder for this will be edit task. Then let me close it. I will add two buttons, but before I add the button, I'm going to let's just add the buttons, and this one will be edit, then the other one will be button cancel. So that's all for the input wrapper. And here I'm going to create a div and give it a class name of content. This is where we'll be showing the lists. We'll be displaying our tags. So, but let's leave it for now. Let's just import use state from React. Then we're going to declare some variables here, and the variable I'm going to declare some things here. We need tags, then set tags. We're going to set states here, so use states. It will be an array. We'll be sending in arrays. Then here we will create a state for add inputs. Sorry, what's wrong with my keyboard? Then set add input to be a state for our input. So use state Since it's going to be for our input, we'll be expecting strings to be passed into. We'll send in an empty string, then a state for our edit input, set edit input. Then use state. It will also be an empty string. And last but not the least, to be for edit ID. We will need it when we are going to edit our task. So let's just use state. I'll also leave it at empty strings. So these are the states that we will set for the project. So with the state being set, that means I can add something to this content now. So let's run our app and see. Sorry, I didn't run the app earlier. Let's type in npm start so that our app will start on the local server. npm start. It is loading. While it is loading, our application is running now. Let me close the terminal, and also let's create an array that to contain our data. So let's name it dummy data. Then ID 1 task task 1, then status will be false. Let's copy this and paste it twice. We will name this one will be ID 2, then task 2, then the third one we'll have an idea of 3, then task 3. So let's set the default state for task to be the dummy data. I forgot to show you the application running in the browser. Let me refresh. The application is now running on the local host, as you can see. We have not done the styling for this project, but I will do that later, but I won't show you the CSS part of this project. So let's continue. So we have our data now. That's the array that we just created. So let's display the tags here now. Tags dot map item. Then we'll return a div. It will have a key. Let me move this to the center so that you can see well. To have a key, the key will be unique. So we will use ID in our project and we'll give it a class name of list item. Let's close the div. Then Then let's display the content. Now it will be item dot tax. Let's save it and check our browser. Let's see. As you can see, these are the tags that we created in the array. So let's add more stuff to this. So we will need buttons. Sorry, let me put the buttons. Check cycle, then edit, and also delete from material UI icon material. So let me save it. Sorry, I don't need to save it. Then here, let's head back to our list. Here I'm going to use icon button. Then inside I will inside I will insert the check cycle and close it. If I save it now, you'll see the icon. Okay, it's still saving, it's still saving. I think it has saved. Let me refresh the page and see. Oh, I'm sorry, my computer is very slow. I'm sorry for that. So let's continue. Let me add the third button, which will be button, which will be for the delete action. So this is all for the structure. This thing is taking time to save and update. So ouch, I'm showing you, it will say, oh, it's still loading. As you can see, it's still loading here. I won't waste much of your time. So we are going to create our add tags here. So for the add tags, we are going to create a function which we will name add task. Then the function now. Inside the function, let's check if the input field is empty. If it's empty, if add input is from the state that we created. If add input is not set, let's return windows.alert is required. It will return field is required if the add input field is empty. So if it's not empty, then let's set ID equal, but I'm going to use date so that the ID will be unique. Date dot now. It will be creating, the ID will be unique this way. So let's also create a new object for the new tags. Then the ID now will be this ID that we just created. Then the task will be add input, which is the value that we got from the add input field. Then the status, sorry, will be false because you have not completed the task. So we have the new object for the task now, for the new task. So let's set task. Let's set task now. So we will access the previous objects in the task. Then we will spread the previous data in the task, then add the new one. The previous data being spread here, then the new. This will add the new object to the. This will add the new object to the previous array that we have. What am I doing? I'm sorry for the mess. Let's head to the browser and test this new update. It's still loading. What the heck? Application is up and running now. As you can see, it's running in the browser now. And this is the icon button that we added. So before we continue, let me add the CSS. I'm going to pause the video, then continue the video later. I will add the CSS before I continue so that everything will be styled, because the project looking like this is not beautiful. So, okay, we have added the CSS now. As you can see, it's a lot more better than what it was before. So what we are going to do now, let me make this cancel button to be red, so in our CSS, let me set this. Okay, we already have this in our CSS. As you can see, we have button with class of cancel, so it will make the background of the button to be red and the text to be white. So this is our CSS. You don't need to worry about this. So let's continue with our project. Let me check if it has updated. As you can see, the cancel button has changed, and we are going to change this edit and delete button to be an icon button also. But let me just change them once and for all. Let me edit them together. So you can see, let me select the buttons, then change them to icon button. Then also let me import the icon. We have already imported the icon, so let's just do this and save. So let's wait for it to update. I'm apologizing for my computer once more. It's very slow. So while we are waiting for, instead of wasting time waiting for it, let's continue with the tutorial. So I forgot something from our add tags function. So after the add tags function, let's set add input empty, so that after we have added the input field should be empty after we have added the input. So let's finish this add input. So for the input field on change, we're going to pass in the E. It's going to be a function. Then we are going to set add input to E dot target. That's how to access the value of the input field. We have now set the value to this add input now. So we are going to on click. I'm going to use the function, the add tax function that we have created. So when you click on the add button, it will trigger the add function. So let's try it now and see. I've saved it. Let's check it in the browser. Let me refresh the page. Let's refresh the page. Let me try to submit empty. Okay, it has refreshed. Let's try to submit empty tags. Let's now try to empty. You can see field is required from what we've created earlier. So let me say task 4 now, then add. You can see it has added. You can see it here. But we have not done anything about these options here. So we are going to work on the edit button now. We are going to work on edit button. So let's head back to VS Code and continue. So in here, we are going to create a function. The function will handle edit field. So let's create the function edit field. So it will receive 2 arguments. The first one will be the ID, then the value of the existing task that we want to edit. So inside the function, we are going to set edit ID equal to the ID. Then the ID we received as an argument, then the set edit input will be the value that we just received. So let's head to the edit section of the listing. So first of all, we will go to the edit button. So on the edit button now, we're going to say on click. That is when you on click, it will receive a function. Then we'll set it will be edit field. We are going to run the edit field that we have just created. So we will pass in the ID, that is item. To access the ID, we are working in the content that we have here. So items dot ID for the ID, then comma, then we to access the value we use item dot task access the value. So save. Now we are going to save it now. Then on the input for the edit task, we're going to say let's add value. so that it will show the value of our to edit input. Then yeah, then let's add the unchange function. Let's set the function. Okay, unchange. So we'll do the same thing that we did for add input. Then set edit input equal to e dot target dot value. Save it. Then save it. Okay, well, I'm getting an error here. Where is the error from? Okay, it has saved. The error has gone. So we are going to create the function to edit our tasks now. Edit task. So, task and const edit tags. Then for the edit tags, we just need the ID. Then here now we will do the same thing. If edit task is not set, then we'll return window dot alerts. Then we'll return field is required. Then let's create a new object now. So new objects equal to ID. The ID we received, then ID, then task. And task will be tax. For the tax, we have it already. Edit input. No, edit input. That's for the task. Then start with. Let's just pass in false. Okay, false. Let me. We have the new input. It has our ID, the ID for the tax. Then the edit input. That's the value from the edit input. So let's implement it now. So to do that, we are going to filter through our tags, then then add the new tags to the. We'll remove the old one, then add the new one. So that's what we are going to do now. So let's create that. Let's filtered task to. I will create an array, then spread our task here. Then outside that, filter. What did I use? When we tax, yeah, inside the filter, I have item. Then here now, we look through the item. So we'll check for the ID of the tax that we have. Then the new array will not include the tax that we have edited. We are going to add the tax we have edited manually. So let's add the new tax that we have edited to the array now. So we'll say new tax equal to then spread through the filtered task, then add the new one, the new object. That's the new object that we created. Then after this, let's set task to new task. After that, let's set edit input to empty string so that when we save it, it will not give any error. So let's save the file and try it out. Sorry, I've not added it to the edit button. So the edit button now, on click edit task. So let's save it now and head to the browser so that we can check. Let me refresh and see if it will work. It does, so it's refreshing. Okay, let's edit this tax one. Let me make it tax 10 and hit on edit. You can see it has changed. Oh my god, it didn't remove this one. Let me check what's the problem. The old one did not go anywhere, so I made a mistake here. Set an array, then spread the items from the tax. Let's do it. Let me save and check if it will work now. Okay, let me refresh. Okay, let's try to edit again. Edit. It's still doing the same thing. Still doing the same thing. Still doing the same thing. Let me look for where the error is coming from. Okay, I'll pause the video so that. Okay, I'm sorry. I made a mistake here. I didn't pass in the. Okay, so here I didn't pass in the argument from there. So let's add edit ID here. So I didn't send the ID from here. That was why it was not removing the old ID. So let's refresh and see if it will work. So let's edit this first one and let's add a 0 so that it will be tax 10. Edit, you can see it has changed to tax 10. It's now working. Let's change this one to tax 30. Edit, it has changed. Okay. Like when we click on this cancel button is not working for now. Let me just work on that. So the cancel button, we are going to set to the cancel button is very easy. What we are going to do here is going to be easy. So let's and set edit input or to empty string, then save. Let's check it now. Let's refresh. Then try to edit, then cancel. You can see it has cleared the input field. So let's continue with the video. So I've done that for the cancel input. Okay, let me add color to the input field. That's easy. I'm using material UI, so this color primary, that's a predefined color from material UI. As you can see, the button is now blue. The color is now blue. So for the delete icon, let me add a red. Let me make the color of the button to be red. Color. Arrow will make the color of the button to be red. As you can see, it has changed. So for the status button, that one, the case is different. So let's work on the delete tags now. We're going to work on the delete tags. It's not going to be complex as edit. So on click, going to pass in our function. Then the function name will be delete. So we delete task. We have not created the function, but we are going to create it. Then we'll send a parameter to the item.id. So let's go and create the function now. So to the top and create the function for our delete task. For our delete task. Delete task. Why am I capitalizing this A? And const delete task equal to ID. So for the delete task now, we'll also create a new task. Because we are going to filter again. So new task equal to task. That's the array of tasks that we have. Then filter, just like we did for the edit task item. Then item.id. So it will just return the item, the tags, the objects that the ID is not equal to the ID that we are passing. So it will omit the one that has the ID that we are sending. So the new tags now, to omit, then we just set task to be new task. As easy as this. So new task, then save. So let me check the browser, refresh so that everything will be up to date. So let's delete this first task. As you can see, it has deleted. So our delete task is working. It's working. So let me add a new task 1 added. If you want to edit, the input field for tax 1 did not clear. Okay, it cleared, but it didn't update So to correct this, then like after we added this tax one, the input field, the state cleared, but we didn't see the update in the input field here. So let's add. So we are going to set value for add input. That will handle the problem. So for the add input, we are going to set a value, then add input and save. So let's check now. Let's add a new tax. Let me refresh. Sorry. Then add tax. That's a tax 10 and save. You can see it has added. You can see, and the input field was cleared. So it's now working. We are going to work on the status now to for completed tasks. So that's what we are going to do now. So let's head to our Visual Studio Code, then start that. So we are going to create a function. So I've been doing function completed tasks, most completed task. So, or if you complete your task, we are going to we're going to have a argument to be this thing. We are going to it's going everything is just it's similar to what we've just done. It's similar to what we have just done. So we are going to create a new task also. Task, but this one is a bit different. So current task, then map, sorry, map. We need to map through it. Then after mapping through it, we used mapped earlier for displaying our task. So sorry, what am I doing? So we're going to return not yet. We're not returning from now. So we have mapped through after mapping, we are going to check if item dot id is equal to the the id here, our argument. If it's equal to id, then that we will return a new object. The objects that we have will spread our our item, will spread the item, because this item here, it's an object. So we'll spread the item, then change the status, only the status. So we'll set the status to be different from the item dot status. That's we are just changing the status of what was provided. So if the status was false, it will change. If the status is false, it will change to true. Then if it's true, it will change to false. That's what we are. That's what we have done here. Forgot to add the curly braces for the function, so we have solved the issue. So for completed tasks now, it will change the status. So let's implement it now on click. Say completed task. completed tax. Then we'll pass in id item.id, then save. Okay, as I said earlier, I told you guys that I will, because we need to change the color of the, okay, if I click on the, it's working, but when I click on the button, nothing happens because we are not changing the color. I want to change the color of this icon to green anytime the value of status is true. So let's do that. So we are going to use, the styling for that has already been done. So let's check for, sorry, I don't need styling for that. I'll just use color, just as we have done here. I'll just use color. So let's come here then, color. So we will check the item status when, so if item status is true, we want to use success. We want the color to be success. Then when it's not true, to be null. If it's not true, if it's false, it will be null. So let's save this and head to the browser and check. Let me refresh. Then click. Okay, it's not working. I know where I made a mistake. So let's head back so that I will correct the mistake. Here, after I didn't use we just created the new task. So let's set task to new task. That was why it was not working. So let's save it and check. Now let me refresh. And oh my god, the application broke. Sorry, I found where I made the mistake. I didn't return item. So let's return item. So let's save it and refresh. Okay, so let's click on, as you can see now, when we click on the completed task, you can see the color is not changing. So that is how to change the color. I use Material UI. So if you don't know how to use Material UI, if you want to learn how to use Material UI, you can let me know in the comment section so that I can make a video on that, on the basics of Material UI, so that you can use it for your project. It's very helpful. So that is okay, we have done everything now. As you can see, found the main thing here now. So what I want to do now is for when there is no content to be displayed, like maybe when you don't have any tags to show. So to do that, it's very easy. Tags dot length. So it's very easy. So with tags dot if tax.length is not set, let's give it a class name of no task. Then let me close the div. Then let's say no task available. Then save. Okay, let's check that now. Let me delete the whole tax here. As you can see, it's not showing no tax available. So the next thing I want to do now, let me refresh so that the demo tax will come. So as you can see, we have tax 1, tax 2. I want the tax to be showing in. I want the latest tax to be the first to show me. Maybe when you add a new tax like tax 4 now, you want it to be the first tax here, not the last tax. So to do that is also very easy. Okay, for the map, let's sort the tax out first. We're going to use sort. So big okay. Okay, it has saved. Let's check it in the browser. Okay, as you can see now, tax tree is showing first now. So let me add tax 4 and save. So the latest tax will be the first item on the list. So that's how I want to be showing it. And you can see everything is working fine. Everything is working fine. Let's edit this. So everything is working. So that's it for the video, and thank you for watching. If you watch it till this extent, I'm very grateful. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you'll be getting more videos like this, and also turn on the notification bell to receive a notification anytime I drop a new video like this. Thank you for watching. Like the video and also share it to your friends. Thank you. Bye.